I never knew that it was hard to do this right here as an official. 1, 2, 3, whistle blow, 3-second violation, going the other way. I don't understand that part of it. We're going to have to get an official on to explain this to me in English where I can understand how the 3-second violation has left college basketball. Now, on the flip side, you come back and say, well, how many 3-second violations did you witness in all of college basketball this season watching games? I recall a few, not very many. Doesn't happen. In most games I watch, I'm not going to see a single 3-second violation. I will also flip that argument on its head and say, how many guys do you see at 7'4" that play right in the middle of the court the entire game, the way Edey does, and the way he plants? And Zach Edey, let me start here. He's a great player. He's one of the greatest college basketball players of my lifetime that I've witnessed. He's incredible. He does an amazing job of getting set up, posting, passing out, and as he's passing out, he repositions and gets closer to the basket with his big body. But in doing that, he gets in the lane. And if any part of your foot is in the lane, the 3-second clock starts. That guy is allowed to get the ball in the lane, camp out, try about 4 or 5 different moves, shove off with his off arm, use his body to get in position, and go up and score. I'm not crying about this saying Tennessee lost because of officiating. I'm simply questioning why it is so difficult to officiate Zach Edey. I can understand going into a game and saying, look, this guy is gigantic. He's going to touch people. He's going to hit them. People are going to hit them. They're going to bounce off. We can't call everything when there's contact around it. I will also say that it is an impossibility for anyone to actually believe that a man of that size that plays the entire game down low could only foul 3 times over 2 NCAA tournament games and be whistled for those 3 fouls. The one yesterday against Tennessee came 30 feet away from the basket on a play where he was shoving someone out of the way. I saw 4 or 5 plays where they could have called Edey for shoving someone in the lower back and going to get an offensive rebound. It's not always the obvious one. And people would say, well, he's so big, they're bouncing up. That's part of the game. If you extend an arm at all and you're so big and strong that you can send 6'7", 235-pound men flying through the air, guess what? It is a foul. And that is the problem with Zach Edey. I don't hate Zach Edey. This is not some personal crusade against the guy. My problem is with this whole ordeal about it so hard to officiate. I don't think it's nearly as hard as people make it out to be. Analysts that cover the game, I don't think any of it is that hard. If he fouls someone, call it like you would on the other 9 players on the court. If he's in the lane for 3 seconds or more, okay, give him a bonus second if you want. If you're not calling 3 seconds much, just like you're giving everyone an extra step and a half before you call traveling. I've seen that across basketball too. Give him an extra second. You're still going to get him for some 3-second violations over the course of a game. Zach Edey has played 1,200 minutes this season. He has been whistled for 72 fouls. In the last 2 games, he played 77 of 80 possible minutes. Hutton, he got called for 3 fouls in 77 minutes. I think multiple things are true here. I think for the most part, he does a good job on defense of being big and avoiding fouls around the basket, of fouling the shooter.
He does.
I think Tennessee did a terrible job with their big guys of putting any pressure on him defensively down low. They didn't challenge him at all. They just said, hey, that's a no-go zone. With him around the basket, we're going to take all of our shots out here and not try to get fouls on him. I also think there were multiple times there could have been an illegal screen call. There could have been a push-off down low to get position for an offensive rebound. There could have been an offensive foul called. To me, the only way, and I'm curious to see this now with DJ Burns in the matchup moving forward, the only way, and this is kind of a hope and a prayer, to get him in foul trouble is to take a dive, is you get your feet planted, and the moment he turns that left shoulder into you to try to go over that left shoulder with the right hand, you take a dive and you make the officials call something or nothing. You do it twice, and if they don't blow the whistle and he dunks it both times, okay, that's the 4 points he would have gotten anyway, and you go about your day. But if you can get them to call the offensive foul, I think that's your only hope against Zach Edey. Tennessee has not done that all year. They don't flop. They didn't do it in this game, so they didn't help themselves with that. But I'm curious to see if someone tries that.